Okay. Now I'm gonna show my actual configuration files for my Emacs. So I start up Emacs, and it's this fresh install I'm gonna show it with. So if I make 2 tabs, then I can show my key bindings or key presses with keycast in the right corner, top right corner. First I'm gonna open my init file, and I'm gonna switch to my early-init file, and I'm gonna zoom a bit. I'm just gonna I'll just test this. Yeah, that's a good size. This is my early init file. I start out with changing a few defaults, because some of them are from old computers that were not as powerful as today's computers are, and you can make the startup process more or better or faster by changing some garbage collection and so on. But another thing I do in my early init is I suppress defaults, because Emacs has some defaults I don't like. So for example, I don't want to see Emacs default frame title when I'm gonna change it later anyways. So early I go in and change the frame title. I don't want to see Emacs default mode line, because I'm gonna make my own mode line later. And so on. The most important is probably this one, where I change the background color, because I don't want a white screen to blink in my face when I start up Emacs. I like my dark color theme, and that's I fix that here. Then I switch so I don't get a scroll bar and other things. That's fairly common that people don't want these things, but they are on by default, and I don't want to see them even blink, so I disable them early. My init.el can run by itself, but then you get the defaults that I disliked. That's up to you. You can do that. I don't use a theme for coloring. I simply color the stuff manually. So in my init file. So if I don't like a color, I will go in and give it a new color, give that face a new color here in my init file. I restrict myself to use 8 colors. So these are the 8 colors I use. If I'm logging in as super user root, then I do use another color for background, but besides that I only use 8 colors. And if I for some reason don't set a color, then vanilla theme will detect that I use dark theme and use a reasonable color. I have changed most of them, so they are all my colors almost. Later I will talk about cursor colors, because that's a topic of its own. It's down when I get to my evil package. I'll just scroll through these colors, and I have all the font lock colors as comment, because then I can pick up on the names of those. Then I have I'm not going then I have some vanilla variables. That is all sorts of things that is part of vanilla Emacs, and I configure that here with some variables, and it's not. And here, for example, I set my frame title as I like it, and so on. So here is a lot of Emacs, vanilla Emacs variables that is set, and then I enable some global minor modes, again not connected to packages. It's vanilla Emacs that has these things. It's native in vanilla Emacs, and then I enable some hooks. Then there's my mode line. My mode line is not a package either, so I make my own mode line. Prod has a very nice video that I've used to get started on this, and I have a link to his video on my GitHub, so you can watch how to make a mode line yourself. For example, I don't like a long major mode name, so I shorten it. So it's only here, it's only Lisp, it's called Lisp, but the mode is called Emacs Lisp mode, as you can see when I hover. So I just want a short name for that, and that's just Lisp. It might be a bit ambiguous if I was using closure or scheme or something, but it's not. I like it short. Then I have some things that I only show in the active window. So if I have two windows, then you see over here there's nothing here, but here I have the Git status and some other information. That's what I do here from here on. Everything here is only for the active windows. Now I have some custom functions. That's a function I will use. When I open this file, then I use this function. So it opens 4 files as buffers, and I can access those. There's different files available for editing, and they are all about my init status or init files. I have some other files I open this way, and then I have custom agenda and a capture, default capture, and then I have these 2 functions. One is to, let's just see, one is to kind of align things. Normally I only work in my left window when I have multiple windows open. I really like to have this option where I open 2 windows over here that I can follow, and a node window down here. And then if I want to edit something here, I simply swap those 2 windows. So now it's early-init and the init is over here, and I like that, and that swap is done up here with this function. Then I have matched stage and commit, and I use backup each save, so I don't need to be too careful about prompting about saving. So I simply have kill Emacs without prompting for saves, just save everything. I like that because I don't want to say yes when I I stop Emacs or kill Emacs. Then I have external packages or third-party packages, and some of them are from Melpa and some are from Melpa, or most commonly from Melpa. This is all my packages. I simply make a list of packages. Then I install them, and I have a structure around. I use package.el to install my packages. I don't use use package. Use package has it explodes the number of garbage collections for me, at least. I understand that you can make some things more. You can suppress loading things early and get a faster startup that way, but I'm not sure it's faster because of all the garbage collections it has to do in the startup process. But it might be faster, but I also like the structure better from package.el. It gives me more freedom to put my key bindings in a section of key bindings. I'm not bound to use :bind to be able to suppress packages and until you use a shortcut for them first time and so on. That just confuses things. I rather have the bindings together. So we'll get to the bindings at the end. I still use some of the structure from use package. That is, when I set variables that are connected to a package, I set them right before I require the package. So when I load the package, then the variables are set. This would typically be in a custom or an init section in use package. And then I do enable modes, hooks, and commands right after I've required the package. So still, and that would be in config section or hook section in use package. I like to have the same structure more or less, but I don't like everything to be structured the way use package like it. Yeah, I do something. Now we get to evil. Evil is the big way I use Emacs. That's a big part of how I use Emacs, because vanilla Emacs key bindings, you can learn to get very efficient with them, but it's not something I recommend because they're simply too complex. Evil have a much easier accessible set of key bindings, but Evil has a modal approach. That is, you have different modes, and it's important to follow what mode you're in and what you're doing and where your cursor is, of course. But that means I use these extreme colors to see what mode I'm in. So if I go, if I go into visual mode and mark something, then you see the hollow square and the marking color. That's all extreme. That's white and black. And if I go into insert mode, it's yellow. And if I want to change something, then it will pop up with operator state, which is red. And yeah, they all have colors so I know what I'm doing, or I'm reminded what I'm doing. I like that. So here I use some maybe eye-taxing extreme colors to remind me what I'm doing from a modal perspective. I set some variables. Now I get to my controversial choice, and that is in normal state, in insert state, evil has usual between characters approach, where you're between characters as every other editor has. But then in normal state, it considers this cursor to be on n rather than before n. I changed that, so in my configuration, this is considered between n and o, this cursor position. So it's the same as in insert state, where it's between n and o. I just think that makes key bindings that make me have to use fewer key bindings, and I can avoid some layered key bindings, because I don't like layered key bindings. It might sound funny, because I came from Emacs to Evil, so now I'm kind of in the opposite camp, where I use as little layering as I can. And one layer is Shift P. I don't use Shift P, I use P for only one paste command. And I use I, C, and O for insert state, and I actually don't use S because if I need, I simply use CL rather than S. So that's how I do it, and I never use almost never use large capitalize letters this way as bindings. This behavior is loaded from this file. So if I go here, let's just open this. This is the file. I'm not gonna talk through it, because it's not my, well, some of it is, but most of it is not my programming. It's not mine, but it's a guy that has made this available, and I use it. So this is how it looks. It redefines some things, because Evil has done some things to make Vim's cursor model and key bindings work correctly. Now I'm gonna go. This is Evil. Most people use Evil this way, or these collection and surround and nerd comments is very common, and Evil numbers are just included too, and Evil org is also very common. People use some extra packages to extend Evil, and that works fine with my cursor, well, the cursor model I use. Then I have org. Org is a big package and a big part of how I use Emacs. I start out with creating a file structure for org if it's not already there. Usually this code does nothing because I usually have my file structure there, but on a fresh install, this creates the basic file structure. Then there's a lot of variables to set up how org works, and those are here. I use 4 to-do states. I use next, to do, hold, done. Hold is for pending third-party actions, and the others are more or less self-explanatory. So pending third-party action is about if I delegated some task or something like that, then it would be put on hold until I get a response from whatever I've delegated it to, or whoever I delegated it to. So that's how I use, and then I use simply categories to keep my task organized. So it's primarily categories that actually keep things organized. I'm gonna go here. Here I have some aesthetics or alignment that is consistent with my capture templates. So I will show in my video on my agenda how this becomes pretty and easy to find things with this. Then I have my agenda, and I'm also going to demonstrate that in another file. And I have some choices that are that shows things different ways and so on. I'm not gonna go in here. I have them for this is for org agenda, and consistently this will show some. I use icons or pictograms rather than some of these words. Yeah. I like my bullets to be numbers, so I can see what level a headline is on. Yeah. Now I'm getting to a lot of other packages. All the packages I use for, this is for completion, and I use a lot of packages to make Emacs nice to use. Now I get to the last package I'm gonna talk about. That's general. General is not really something I need, but it's what gives this menu down here, and I use that to have commands available when I use my editor. And but this could be done without general, but I do use general for it because it's easier. I would wish at some point to create my own maps and create this myself, but for now I use general. Prot has a nice video on how to create this system without an external package. I'm just gonna browse through many of these bindings. You might not want this way, but you do. You make your own system as you like. Then I get to my faces that are connected to packages, and if you see with eval afterload org, you can see what packages these faces are connected to with this with eval. and then I simply make a lot of packages to make everything look nice. Or yeah, I try to make things look nice, and it's still these 8 colors I use for all these things, all these so it's aesthetics, all of this. Then I have my key bindings. Again, I try to avoid too many layered key bindings. This is the I like if I have this, then I can like switch windows fast. I can, let's say I'm here, then I can switch buffers fast. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through too much, but I have these global keys or motion state keys that I can use when I'm not in insert mode. And then I have I should go back. Then I have some other keys, and in this when I'm in insert mode, I come from the Emacs world. So if I'm in insert mode, I sometimes want to go to the next word, and I've found that so I can do that without exiting and inserting and entering insert mode again and exiting again. But that's just me and how I do it. Yeah, I have some key bindings here. Then down here I start using evil defined mode because defined key, because I need it to be kind of connected to 2 maps at once, both the evil motion state and the org.el mode map, and so on. So here I defined, and then I end my configuration by simply starting up agenda. I like to start in agenda. I don't like to use dashboard or whatever, but I like to start in agenda. So that's what I do. That's it for my init file, and you can find it on GitHub. I have other videos, and I will make one more video where I demonstrate how my agenda system works. Thank you.